So we are back here with another video, man. We're going to be talking about the changes that 2K made today. We're going to talk about the community reaction. We're going to talk about some other things, man. So this should be a good video. Before we do get into it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, as well as leave a like on the video, man. Both of those things really help me out. So I'm just thrilled about the community reaction to this content today, because is it a whole ton? Not necessarily. I mean, 2 moments cards. We've got a bunch of free MT challenges. We got some things of that nature, man. Still no increase in the pack odds or anything, but overall, I'm just really excited to see that 90% of the community has a positive reaction to this, because that's really all that's kind of my goal, is to, when the game is bad, I want people to see that the game can still be fun. I mean, and I should say, when the game is bad, to just objectively, from an objective perspective from everybody. And that's what I want. I want people to have fun on this game. I want people to be able to have the same success, no money spent, as people that spend money, which I think is very possible this year, like we've talked about. And yeah, so I was going to make a video talking about the pack strike, but we are going to kind of talk about that now. And it looks like it is starting to bring forward positive change. I mean, some people are saying, these challenges were already going to be dropped even without the pack. I don't think that that's the case, because we saw, the card art this morning, the card art for like VJ Edgecombe, it was the same picture as his gold card. I don't think that any of this was planned. I don't think if people, were kind of rioting and commenting that they would have done any of these things. So I think that this is in reaction to the community, man. And let's talk about this whole, the changing of the color in the menus. It went from like an orange to like a purple. Purple's my favorite color, man. I think that that is a very slight W, so I will give 2K some credit for that. I think that it just kind of changes the whole vibe of the mode when they change up the menus. And that has been severely lacking. They used to change the menus all the time in 2K21. I know it's something that doesn't really matter, but I kind of like the whole purple color, man. I think that that is a major W. So one thing that is happening is people's season progress is resetting. They will fix this. I think that this is a direct result of them changing the menus and adding things into the game. Something weird happened with the code. So this should be changed very soon, man. And I think that it will be within just a few hours. They will fix everything. They will fix the progress with the triple threat and clutch time challenges, as well as, I don't know if the salary cap challenge got reset, but as you can see, the season challenges are completely gone now. So that means that they realize that there's something wrong and they are working on it. And then the season challenges will be reset at all as well, because as you can see, I'm up to like level 25, 26, and all of the Myteam rewards are locked, but the My Career rewards are still claimed. So my progress is still there, but it's just the rewards in the code, for some reason, they don't think that I've redeemed any of these rewards, which obviously I have, but I think that that'll be fixed soon. So I kind of want to address the whole, because I kind of went at people last summer for because the gambling rants and the anti-pack rants were kind of getting a little bit ridiculous, in my humble opinion, last summer. And I think that when I kind of had my rebuttal to that, a lot of people took it the wrong way. Like, there was a lot of comments coming at me like, oh, just go open up your Hoff boxes, whatever. You're trying to grow your channel to grow ad revenue so you can open up packs. No. My whole argument was, it is okay to open up packs with MT, and opening up packs with MT is a better option than opening up VC packs. Because a lot of people are expecting a lot of these people that have opened up packs every week or every pack drop for years to just stop, which is not necessarily a realistic expectation. That's like, telling someone who drinks every day or smokes every day to just stop. And it's really not a realistic expectation, because I do understand that packs are addictive. I was someone who spent way too much money in packs in 2K20, But ever since then, I've been an MT pack ripper, and I feel like it is a much better option. A lot of people say, oh, it's the same thing, it's still gambling. I don't think so. I think that it is kind of similar to, I guess, I'm trying to think of a good example here. It would kind of be like I know a lot of people that just in the world as a whole that have been addicted to one thing and then they kind of move their addiction to another thing, right? Like, oh, maybe they're a heavy drinker, but now they gamble. The fact of the matter is, there is a lot of people that are born with an addictive personality, and it is genetic. Some people don't understand this, and I get it, because if you don't have that in your psyche, in your blood, it is very, very hard to understand. I get that. But I am someone who has that. I have an addictive personality. I'm not afraid to admit that. And you could say that maybe I am addicted to packs because, like, for example, over the past week or so, I've opened up 1,000,000 MT plus in those Rainmaker packs. I'm going to continue to open up packs. I'm doing it to kind of fill out the Series 1 players for the challenges, right? So I'm not just doing it just hoping and praying to pull a pink diamond. I'm doing it because there's a purpose to do it. I didn't really open up many packs season 1 at all, but that is what I would encourage people to do. If you're someone who is tempted to open up packs every week, play this game for a little bit because MT is very easy to make. Open up some packs with MT instead of spending money and opening up packs with VC, because I feel like that is a better option, and it's not realistic for people to just stop cold turkey altogether. It just isn't. That's not how addiction works. And that is kind of what I was getting at with my complaints last summer, is that MT packs are a better option, and that is what I would recommend people do. And that is kind of was my whole goal with content last year as well, with my MT making content on the auction house. You know, it was easy to make 100K MT per hour at certain points of the year last year on the auction house. And I kind of want to, my goal with this channel is to help people realize that you can do the things that money spent players do while being no money spent, rather whether that's obtaining top tier cards or ripping packs, because that's what people that spend money on this game do. They're either buying packs to obtain the best cards, or they're buying packs just because they like to rip packs. And I try to make that as possible as I can for no money spent players. So that is my goal. I'm not trying to say that gambling is okay. I'm not trying to say that it's not an addiction or that it's okay to spend all your spare money on packs. That's not what I was trying to do with that whole argument. And I get that that video that I dropped last summer, kind of going at the anti-pack rants, that video was not as good as it could have been. I made it when I was tired. I should have, you know, if that video was on par with, I feel like, how my content is these days, it would have been a lot better. So that is what I was trying to get at with that whole thing, because I see a lot of people talking about this whole gambling thing and expecting people to quit ripping packs cold turkey. And I've already said this like 3 times. My recommendation is MT packs. That doesn't put any money in 2K's pocket. If you're ripping packs with MT, you are still a part of the pack strike, man. So anyway, that is my solution for people that like to rip packs. So that I kind of wanted to just put that out there, to be honest. So yeah. Anyway, um, some comments that I'm seeing today as far as with this content, I am actually seeing for the first time since probably week 1, there's people saying that they are going to hop on this game. And you guys, I can't tell you guys how happy that makes me. It really, really does. Because all I want is to see people having fun, as much fun with this game as I have with this game. That's really all that I want to see. So people saying that they're going to hop on is just, it really warms my heart, man. It really, really does. Because all that we've seen for the past month plus is people saying that they're not getting this game, they're deleting this game, whatever. And I think a lot of that was at the fault of content creators specifically, because nobody was talking about the success that you can have no money spent on this game, which is a ton of success. And now with these challenges and everything, man, this is what people like. Like these challenges, they don't really do anything for me. Like I'm way more focused on the badge challenges. But for people that only play this game on the weekends, for casual players, it's going to be a W to be able to get Jimmy Butler and VJ Edgecombe. It really, really is. So do we kind of need to see more? That's kind of what people are saying. Yes, it would. I don't think that the 10-pack box is coming back anytime soon. I think that they're going to do exactly what they did last year and kind of bring that in towards, the second half of the year type of thing. That is kind of what I expect to happen. So that's kind of unfortunate. I would like to see that return. Maybe they do bring back the 10-pack box because at Christmas every year, there's always a huge group of players that come into the game, as well as when the game becomes free. So December 25th, Christmas, we can expect a bunch of new players. And then when the game becomes free, whether that's April or May, there will be a bunch of new players as well. So those are two times where they really do kill it with the content, and I think that they will again this year. I would expect 10-pack boxes to either come back at Christmas or when the game becomes free. So that is kind of my expectation for that. I really do hope that we see a Halloween event, and I think that if people do keep, ratioing them on their Twitter posts and um, kind of speaking up for change, that we will see a Halloween event. And as long as the Halloween event you can't expect it all to be attainable for no money spent, because that's just not really how Myteam works. There is a lot of people that still aren't approaching this game with a realistic approach, like kind of only thinking about the player's interest and not 2K's interest. When you're being hopeful about this game and kind of thinking about positive changes that can be made, you have to come at it with a realistic approach, or else you're going to be let down every time. So my hope for the Halloween event is, yes, there is going to be top tier cards that are only attainable for no money spent, whether they do the whole thing where you can pull the exchange piece out of packs or whatever they end up doing. If they do an event, it's probably going to be the top tier cards only attainable for big spenders or people who know life the game, and then hopefully there is at least some cards like this Jimmy Butler, VJ Edgecombe, maybe some amethysts and diamonds that you can obtain for free, or maybe there will be an MT method that no money spent players can do. So that is kind of my hope, and I think that that is a whole thing where that is just something that the community needs to learn, is that we can't just look at this from a perspective of things that are only positive for the player base. To be realistic and to actually get your hopes up in a fair way, you have to think of it from both sides, if you kind of are picking up what I'm throwing down, man. So anyway, yeah, and I'm just so happy because we only have 2 comments to look at, only 2 negative comments, and hopefully that number is at 0 soon enough. So we will talk about these 2 comments, man. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these updates, man. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. Is it perfect? No. Is it ever going to be perfect? No. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I also just kind of wanted to highlight kind of my thoughts on the whole gambling thing and I kind of wanted to just rehash that whole thing because a lot of people did not take my argument for what I was trying to get at, I guess is probably the best way to put it. So anyway, a lot of people are saying that 2K didn't change the game plan at all. This is worthless to 95% of players. So the way that I would rebuttal to this is you're either a casual or you're not a casual, right? I mean, there is some area in between, but my whole thing is you're either someone where the Jimmy Butler and VJ Edgecombe are a W, or you're someone where these badge challenges are a W. Where are those at? Right here. It's either these are a W or the 2 amethysts are a W. I mean, I don't really see a scenario where one of these things isn't a W. I think if you're a casual, no money spent, these cards are a W. The badges are a W. If you're someone who plays this game a lot, spends money trying to badge up high tier cards. So there's something to do for everybody, which I think is important, right? Like there really wasn't a whole lot to do for the ultra casual, but now there is. So I don't really understand that complaint. Please bring me back to 2K21 Danny Ferry, where you could grind him on triple threat offline. 2K is taking baby steps, not even walking yet. So my whole thing, we've already talked about the glorifying of the old triple threat rewards. Yes, Danny Ferry was one of the best cards in the game, similar to as Sigma was both of them top 5 cards when they came out, right? And I get that we need free cards that are kind of at the tier of Danny Ferry, but the whole format of how rewards are now is better than it used to be. It is. And that's almost from an objective perspective because I don't mind RNG rewards. I wouldn't mind seeing RNG rewards return. I'm someone who kind of likes RNG rewards because, you know, you can play 5 or 10 games and get Danny Ferry, or it could take you hundreds of games, which I know a lot of people don't like that. And I come from a place of understanding with that. Like, I do understand why some people don't like that. So I think that some people with these past game mode rewards are forgetting that they were RNG. I really, really do. So that's the first thing. And then he's talking about Pink Diamond Richard Jefferson said he was a dog and he came out when he came out and what happened to good free cards that aren't behind a paywall. I mean, we got a lot of good free cards season 1 that weren't behind a paywall. And I do expect the season rewards are underwhelming, but Mitch Richmond is still better than what we usually got at this point in the year. Same with West Sunseld. We've already talked about that. We got some free moments cards. And I do expect if people do keep speaking up, that we're going to continue to get decent free rewards. You can't always expect them to be the best cards in the game. Is it nice when they are? Yes. Maybe they'll do a grind kind of around Christmas like they did with Baron Davis in 2K21. That was a major W. Even though he wasn't like, you know, he was still a top 5 point guard in the game. He wasn't the best point guard in the game, which people kind of expect him to be because that was a crazy grind. But yeah, I would like to see spotlights return. Some people asking for that. That would be a major W. Maybe like some moments of the month, something like that. Of course, I'd like to see that. I mean, that would be a W. But him talking about this Pink Diamond Richard Jefferson card, I'm assuming that he's talking about the season of giving Richard Jefferson from 2K21. Take off the rose tinted glasses, buddy. That card was horrible. I mean, that's all that I got to say about that. But anyway, my biggest takeaway from today is I am just so happy that the community is happy, at least the majority of the community, because it almost went from 90% of the community is upset with the game to now like 75 to 90% of the community are happy. And that's really all that I want to see, man. It was getting to the point with content where it was just everybody was yelling in their videos about how bad this game is. I was even yelling in my videos, kind of rebuttaling a lot of the bad claims. And we don't need to be at a point where everyone's raising their voice at each other. We really don't. That's not good for the game. And now everyone's kind of just calm, ready to grind. There's people saying that they're going to hop on. The vibes overall are extremely positive right now. And that is all that I want to see, man, because life is too short for negativity. It is. Negativity is something that I really just don't like to see. It kind of, I know that I am a very optimistic person. That is just how I'm wired. That is in my genetics. Same with the whole, you know, sort of gambling is in my genetics as well. And there is just a trigger that kind of gets set off in my brain when all I see is constant negativity. That is why I avoid politics. That is why I don't get into certain things like that, because I just can't stand it. And 2K was getting very political, and I'm just so happy with the state of the community. I really, really am. And that's all that I try to bring with my content, whether it was, you know, rebuttaling people's negative comments. All I'm trying to do is help people find any happiness that they can in this game at all. That's really all that I'm trying to do. Same with my content last year. I know the auction house has been a little bit tougher this year, but I just try to make it so that people can have just as much fun with this game, no money spent, as they can have when they do spend money. And that it is possible to rip a bunch of packs on Friday if you want. It is possible to obtain, your favorite player, which not always, it's not really necessarily attainable to get Wemby or some of these lock-ins. It's just not a good idea. But you can, if you have been grinding, if you've been doing what I've been telling you to do as far as with Breakout, as far as I have made a few auction house videos, if you've been doing those kind of things all year long, you've got MT stacked up, you should be able to get like Kevin Durant if he's your favorite player, man. And that's really all that my goal is. And let's talk about pack odds really quick. I do kind of want to see a change with packs. I know that packs are kind of just a little bit rough right now. The first step that they need to take is showing us what the odds are for a pink diamond. We would love to see an increase in odds, and obviously I think that's kind of the next step, but I think the first step needs to be we need to see what the exact odds are for a pink diamond. Like, is it 0.1%? Is it 0.01%? Because even just those two numbers specifically, there's a huge difference in 0.1% and 0.01%. Because a 0.1% would be a 1 in 1,000 chance, which is already ridiculous. But if it's a 0.01% chance, I believe that would be, what would that be? Would that be a 1 in 10,000, or would that be, I don't know. But anyway, usually I'm pretty good with my mental math, but kind of failing me right now. But anyway, there's a huge difference. That's the whole point in just even those numbers. And we need to see the exact odds. Like, it almost seems like it shouldn't even be legal to not see the exact odds, to be honest. So I think that's the first step. And I would love the pink diamonds to just be a flat 1%. I would. But I understand that with a lot of these whales from 2K's perspective, that if the odds were a flat 1%, the whales wouldn't be opening up as many packs because they'd have the whole set way earlier. Because there is some people that open up packs until they get the whole set. There is. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know if you guys want to see a base pack opening, because I got a bunch of stuff in my auctions. I'm going to be opening up these base packs anyway, so let me know if you guys would like to see that. But yeah, I think that's kind of the thing. Let's see how much Kevin Durant is going for. I'm assuming that, the first one, yeah, 3 or 4 million, but not as expensive as Dr. J. It doesn't look like, especially, once we get to like tonight and even tomorrow, once the people that like really, really want KD get him, he's going to get even cheaper, only by like a million or two. But yeah, if you've been grinding a lot of people have told me, they have 4 or 5 million MT, no money spent, which I would too. I've got maybe like 3 million in my collection. And if I didn't open up any packs, I'd probably have like 6 million realistically. But yeah, that's kind of just my goal. I want people to be able to obtain a card like this, no money spent. And if you've kind of been doing what I've told you to do throughout the year, just grind breakout, work the auction house, I think it is very possible. So yeah, that's just yeah, my goal is happiness, inclusivity. I think some people get that twisted. My goal is not to shill at 2K. My goal is not to back up 2K. My goal is for everybody to be as happy as possible. So that is why I react strongly to the negativity. It's not because I'm defending 2K. It's not because I'm a shill, which a lot of you guys do know that. And I appreciate you guys that have supported me. I really, really hope that I do help some of you guys. And yeah, I think that's about it. I almost have that feeling again where I'm kind of forgetting something, but we'll get to it in the next video if that is the case, man. I'll probably, keep grinding for a little bit. We'll sell some of these things that I got, and we'll do a little bit of a base pack opening and maybe continue to talk about the game while we rip some packs later. And no, that is not going against the pack strike because it's MT packs. So don't come at me with that. But anyway, with all of that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are happy, man. Hopefully you guys are considering subscribing to the channel as well as considering to leaving a like on the video, man, because that really, really helps me out. And I will see you guys in the next vid. E O.